I watched Castlevania. Did you watch Castlevania?
Every bit of it. Every bit of it.
Yeah, it got really good. It got really good for me.
Yeah,
So
I only got to see the first episode, and then my shit got canceled, so I gotta wait and watch the rest of it. But it
yeah,
was dope. I mean, like even the first, that first episode goes ham too. So
yeah, no,
See,
definitely.
I didn't think the first episode was like I wasn't sold until after Dracula. I mean, okay, another spoiler, but
oh, you
um
spoiled it. I didn't know
okay,
he's gonna be in
whatever.
it.
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it anymore.
It's all
Um,
good.
yeah, but I really love Dracula. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like how they had Dracula portrayed in Castlevania was not my favorite portrayal of him.
Hmm.
But past Dracula, I'm like, oh, I like the other storyline. You know what I'm saying? Like the other characters, they got some black characters too, some very strong female leads characters, even though from the villain side and the protagonist side.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's cool that they weave in magic. I never played the Castlevania game either, so I think this is a good intro. I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to play the game now.
Well, I mean, I feel you on that. Like, well, the thing was is that Castlevania was a side scroller that I really didn't get into as a kid. Like, you know what I mean? So when they had the other renditions, I was kind of like whatever until the graphics got better and then they were like actually like bigger and all that. I start playing a couple of games, but I never finished them. Like, you know what I mean? It kind
Same.
of gave me that Ninja Gaiden vibe that, it's just,
Yeah.
kind of just you just keep playing and playing and playing and it's just I don't know, it gets a little redundant for me and I'm good. Yeah.
Well, I heard that the storylines though in the anime are very faithful to those games you're talking about though. That's what I heard from like fans and stuff for the series. So I was like, okay, that's cool because I didn't know all that lore either. Even though I did play some of the side scrollers, in the NES era and stuff like that. But I'm like you, when the point where I didn't beat them or anything. Like I was just like sometimes I would visit a friend or my family or something. They had it and I would play it there, but I never actually owned it. And I did the same thing you did as far as when it went 3D. I tried one of those 3D ones when the PlayStation era, PS2 era. You know what I mean? But even then, I still didn't get. I didn't beat it either. But so
It's just certain games that you just didn't get into as a kid. Like, man, I must have played the beginning level of Altered Beast like 17 times, but that was
same.
it. That was it. Just he turned to a
Yeah,
beast, choo choo, and that was it, motherfucker.
you went super old school with that one. Altered Beast on that Sega.
First Genesis game ever. Like
Yeah.
throwback game.
So
Throwback.
Fallon, you said you like Dracula stories, or how do you like Dracula as far as which interpretation of Dracula do you like?
Oh, I see. I used to read a lot like fantasy and horror books. I read the Bram Stoker Dracula, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, this is it's pretty good. And I mean, he's like supposed to be like the most powerful.
Yeah.
You know, he's the. I just don't understand how they did that in Castlevania, like how they had him portrayed, like just tired and raggedy. You know what I'm saying? In my
Yeah,
opinion.
it was definitely a different take. I'm like you though. I'm also a fan of Dracula. I've read the novel even and everything, and I've been trying to catch some of the '70s movies as of late. But yeah, I feel you on that. But I did like that they touched kind of like on the backstory with the Vlad Tepes thing. You know what I mean? Like in real life version of Dracula, I guess. Because in that first season, in the previous Castlevania anime that they had, they kind of touched on that a little bit when he was impaling people and shit like that. So
Yeah,
I
dude.
did like that they showed that. But I feel you on the rest of it, how he's just like, oh, tired of this vampire shit. Yeah.
I also like it does feel like a video game. Like I like that aspect of this Castlevania, like when they be in the action scenes, especially the magic part. But it doesn't feel too much like a video game. Like sometimes I mean sometimes so I just finished Naruto. Like Naruto, like in the characters always announce their moves and stuff like that. So I'm like so at least they're not like saying like such and such spell.
Yeah.
They just get into the action, you know what I'm saying? But it does feel like a video, like you're watching a video game at certain parts of the film.